Now, if you're watching this around the time of the final episode airing, you're probably going to see tons and tons of thumbnails of people talking about how Ms. Marvel introduces mutants into the MCU. I want to say with confidence, she does not. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Hove Views, and today we're going to be discussing Ms. Marvel, the entire series. I decided not to do weekly episodes of this one, and I wanted to just do a full binge. So I started it on yesterday, watched 4, woke up this morning, watched 5 and 6, and here we are to discuss what we got from the Ms. Marvel TV show. I will say that this show, as you watch it, is probably the most stylistically different show that you've ever seen from the Disney Plus series of shows. More family friendly, and it appeals more to a younger audience. The fact that they have the text messages inscribed and the emojis popping up in the scenery around the show, that stuff really set it apart from everything else that we've seen thus far. And it was impressive in the fact that it stayed pretty much a constant throughout the show. I wasn't too excited about the Ms. Marvel TV show before watching a few trailers, and even after watching those trailers and thinking about all the other content that we've got superhero related this summer, I was at a place where I just didn't really want to see the show. Like, it wasn't high on my list of things to do. After watching episode 1, that really felt the same, but then after episode 2, it really kind of drew me in. But my ultimate problem is the pacing of these shows. And it's not saying that Ms. Marvel was bad. I actually think it was a very good little cute show, like very family friendly. It attracts the attention of the kids. It's good. But the issue is just that, man, episode 1, she got the bangle, she saved somebody, fine. Episode 2, she's doing a training montage. She's still a rookie. She tries to save someone, she kind of fumbles it, but law enforcement catches on and she runs into people who are ultimately the bad guys of the show. But by the 5th episode, the bad guys of the show and their whole arc has been wrapped, and like they're pretty much done at this point. And I just don't like how fast that went. Like, we got to meet y'all in episode 2. By episode 3, they were attacking the wedding and saying how they didn't want to wait. And it's like, yo, we just met y'all as an audience, and now y'all already upset and impatient? Like, man. And I get it. The characters have been suffering for X amount of time and they're ready to get back home. I get that. I also understand that we spend more time with Kamala Khan in her introduction than most superheroes get in their introductory film. When you're telling that origin story, it just still feels rushed in comparison to what I would expect from these shows. Like, by the time we got to episode 3, I felt like, man, we're moving way faster than I expected to. I know between episodes 3 and 4, we go from the mother not really wanting to give any kind of room to her daughter to now in episode 4, like, we're traveling across the world at the daughter's request. Like, hey, something not right. It feels like things happen too fast and a little too conveniently in these shows when you have these 6-episode arcs. Like, give time to let these things breathe. Let us get to know this clandestine group, how long they've been suffering. Give more light to them to make us care when they actually get evaporated in episode 5. But they didn't really do that, and that's my only real complaint. Like, the show felt like it moved along very fast. Now, if you're watching this around the time of the final episode airing, you're probably gonna see tons and tons of thumbnails of people talking about how Ms. Marvel introduces mutants into the MCU. I want to say with confidence, she does not. I also say that I have no evidence that she does not. I'm just going off of my own feelings, my own hunches. I just don't think that Kevin Feige and Marvel and the way they roadmap everything out is gonna choose Ms. Marvel, the least watched MCU show on Disney Plus, to say, hey, let's introduce mutants this way with her. I have a feeling that Feige is well enough plugged into his audience to know that this is not gonna be the show that's for everybody. Based on demographics alone, you know, the average comic book moviegoer is probably not gonna be the same person that turns on Disney Plus and says, let me watch every episode of the Kamala Khan version of Ms. Marvel. Also, when you gauge the popularity of characters in general, because Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, the movie, was not very well received by fans. Like, there was a lot of fans that kind of felt like Brie Larson was kind of phoning it in. I'm not one of them. I thought the movie was good. I thought her appearances in Endgame was very good, and every other time she's popped up in the little cameo things, she's embodied the role. She's done what they've asked her to do. I don't have any problems with Captain Marvel, but I do know that there's a base of people that do have a problem with her. So the fact that you want to connect mutants to Miss Marvel and Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel, and it's like, I think you would want to introduce mutants to a wider audience. I think that's going to be done on film. I don't feel like that's going to be done in the show. This may be a way to backdoor in the Inhumans back into the MCU mix, because that was fumbled on ABC back in the day, but now it appears that they're coming back around and doing things right. Maybe they'll do that way, but mutants, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get a young Professor X and a young Wolverine and all that stuff based on this line drop in Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. I don't see that happening. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna, use that line and just go off because he said a mutation. But I don't think that's gonna be, this is not gonna give us the X gene and mutants. I don't see that. Anyway, I thought the show was great though. It was cute, it was fun. It was stylishly very different from most of the other things we've got. I liked her story, her journey from being, just obsessed with Captain Marvel to, this is where I'm at in my life, embracing family instead of keeping secret identities and stuff like that. All good stuff. Themes that you could kind of see coming from a long ways out. Good show though. Only criticism is that 6 episodes, you could have given us 8 and stretched it out and told us more about the clandestine and how the hell time travel works with the Bangle, because that didn't make a bunch of sense. You could have gave us a little bit more fleshed out ideas, but you gave us 6 episodes. We got it. It was good. We're gonna be moving on quite fast, because I think before summer ends, sometime in July, we'll be getting She-Hulk. So the conversation will be changing very quickly. Let me know in the comment section if you truly believe that mutants are gonna be connected to Miss Marvel. I just don't see that happening. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.